Hello everybody, and thanks for joining me in my messy little shop today. I had it so clean not that long ago, and then one or two projects later, and boom, it looks like a bomb went off in here. So I guess I'm going to need to spend a day cleaning. But I'm sorry, right off the hop, I'm going to say I'm sorry because I know today's video is going to be a little bit late. I lost track of time playing in the shop, putting together that first little biogas digester build that I'm doing for the farm channel. Well, I'm doing it for my own curiosity, really, but I'm doing the video for the farm channel. And while I do have a clock out here in the shop, it doesn't have a battery in it, so it's constantly 10 to 11. It's just how it is. I probably should get off my hiney and put a AA in there. But you know, I enjoy the fact that I don't wear a watch or have a phone in my pocket that tells me what time it is immediately or necessarily run my life by alarms. So I don't have a clock in the basement, and I really doubt I'm ever going to put a battery in the one out here. Anyway, speaking of the biogas digester, I guess I'll show you that really quickly. This freakish little assembly here sitting on top of the liquid rubber. I got the hose going up over there. Got the party cup upside down. Just another part of my yard that looks like there's a fraternity around somewhere, but this is actually trying to help me stop any extra air from going back in. This is up because methane rises, so in theory, as it collects it first, it should fill the hose, oxygen back out. That's all in the other video though. Yeah. Today is kind of just a random babbling video though. Oh, that's terrible light by the door, isn't it? Because I'm just kind of farting around in the shop, getting a few things done that I need to do, and, you know, having a little fun. Not really the best of weather out there for yard work or gardening or anything. I was kind of thinking we'd take a look at the chilies today, but that is a Friday thing, and I kind of don't mind that aspect of the tradition. I think with the size of the PLC, it's probably good to have some sense of regularity there. But yeah, I was down in the aquaponics today, and I was thinking, oh yeah, well, I'll just do it another wet Wednesday. I know we were looking at the aquaponics yesterday, but we can look at it today because I got a whole bunch of stuff I got to do. And I started getting really kind of sad and depressed going through like the checklist in my head of all the stuff I've got to do out there. So I was just like, you know what? I should have started that video at 9 o'clock in the morning. There's no way I can get that done in time. So I came out here and started tinkering, and yeah, totally lost track of time. But that's kind of just the way I am. I'm a very, I don't know, absent-minded individual. I try and get my stuff done, but you know, life is life, and life is distracting, and it is what it is. Kind of standing beside this little riding lawnmower now. It's another one of those many projects I've got to deal with. But I was chatting with, I believe it was Brother Troll, about just how easy it'll be to remove the deck from this lawnmower. And it does look like it's 3 simple pins. I'll probably find out there's more to it at the time. I guess I gotta mess with these pulleys and stuff, but so far this thing is working really well, so I really should, I don't know, maintenance it properly. Kind of strange looking at it from this angle. It looks so tall. Strangest thing I found about having a riding lawnmower, and you know, I realize I'm 40 some odd years old, and this is the first time I've ever played on a riding lawnmower or a tractor or anything of the kind. But I find myself, while I'm out there mowing, seriously considering the value proposition of starting a golf course. Because, like, what do? You have a whole bunch of land, you mow the lawn all pretty at, like, 3 different stages on your lawnmower, and you charge people to come play in your lawn. Like, yeah, that's interesting. The problem is, I don't really enjoy golf. So, it's not that good for me. I'd rather do something I enjoy with the land, but it does seem like it's an interesting venture, you know. Just not for me, but yeah. We've been looking at a lot of land lately, so I've got a lot of land type things going through my head because we are getting closer. I think we're getting closer to that next stage. This wonderful little house of ours is a fixer-upper, to put it kindly, and we got it at a screaming deal, to put it mildly. But this is not where I want to be forever. Our hydro bill is ridiculous, and frankly, to build this house to the position that I'd like, it would be cheaper to buy a house in the city. And if it would be cheaper to buy a house in the city, then it would definitely be cheaper to buy a land and build an earthship. And oh yeah, I'm still on that one. I was looking up a lot of earthship videos this morning and kind of late last night, and came across a great one of a little earthship out in Alberta, Canada, and in the desolate Canadian winter. So I'm thinking, yeah, okay, it'll be snow. Let's see how these things do in the snow. And they got this little dusting of snow on the ground, and I'm laughing. I'm like, Alberta, And no disrespect to you Albertans that are watching this, but you guys don't know what snow is. If that is a desolate, cold Canadian winter, I'm thinking, okay, how's this thing going to do under 4 or 5, 8 feet of snow out here in Manitoba? You know, that's what I need to know. But I still think the theory is sound, and, you know, can always improve the heat with a fireplace here, or, you know, something. There's always a way to do it, so it'll all work out in the end, I'm sure, but it's a long run, right? Like, some people are lucky, you know, they go out, they buy a lotto ticket, they actually win, say, 7 figures, and they get to fulfill, you know, their dreams. And they find out, though, at the end of that it's not so great because they didn't get there the hard way. They got there the easy way. They don't enjoy it. They don't appreciate it. And a lot of people, you know, according to stats and stuff that I've read, a lot of people will go through those 7 figures in like 3 years, which is ridiculous, right? So I figure Shocks and I are actually ahead of the game, as crazy as this sounds even just in my head, but we're ahead of the game because we have to work that little bit harder than, say, a lot of the people out here to get farmland. Like, I've noticed people that grow up on the farms don't really appreciate what they've got. They think the city is the place to be, and oh, how can you be out here? How can you be out here? And, you know, I list all my reasons why I'm out here, and there are lots of them. And, you know, they just don't get it because, you know, Grandpa was on the farm, Mom and Dad were on the farm, they were on the farm, and they just want to get. But I'm just trying to get a farm, you know? And I think that gives us a greater appreciation of it because we have to work for it. We appreciate what we've got. And, you know, we stay at home a lot, you know, because we're both YouTubers, so there's a lot of time spent editing and working on our various projects and stuff. But people are always like, you know, don't you get bored of being at home? And it's like, are you kidding? Do you know the risks we took to get here? Do you know what we've done to get here? We love being at home. This represents so much faith and effort in our combined goals, right? Like, it's absolutely awesome. And as I was saying earlier, I really do feel like we are getting very close to that next step. And the next step for me is like substantial acreage. I know half an acre seems like a huge piece of land to somebody living in the city, and it sure did to me when I was sitting on 30 by 101 feet. I'm going, yeah, half an acre, that sounds massive. But you come out here, you live on it for a couple of years, and you realize it's only 150 by 150. It's like, okay. Well, I can do a lot on this land. I can't necessarily do half the things that I wanted to. So, yeah, I am hoping that we can find a position on 40, 50 acres, something in that neighborhood. You know, 160, full quarter section, that would be sweet. I do believe in dreaming big, but at the same time, I don't know if I could ever make use of that much land, let alone be a proper steward of it. So 80, probably about the max that I could make use of. And I have a few price points that I'm absolutely not willing to go beyond. Like, they're ridiculously low, but that's how I was taught to do business. So whatever, it works. It's gotten us this far. I don't intend to abandon it at this point. And yesterday, yeah, I'm pretty sure it was yesterday, I was watching a live Ritchie Brothers auction. For those of you who know what that is, you know what that is. For those of you who don't, it's an industrial auction. Lots of large equipment. I was trying to get familiar with pieces of farm equipment and kind of get an idea of what they go for out here. And I got some really interesting knowledge on that score, but that's a whole different video. But what really interests me and what really kind of applies to this conversation is they had a parcel of land for sale. I thought it was one parcel of land. It turns out it was 11 parcels of land. And the final sale price on what looked to me to be over 1,500 acres, 1,500 acres, okay, $295 Canadian, which is ridiculous, okay? That old house we used to live in on the 30 by 101 is appraised at more than that. So to me, that's incredible. I did some math. Buddy paid less than $200 an acre, and this place came with a 3-bedroom house, 2 barns, each of which were 42 by 150. So each barn was bigger than my old property, right? And yeah, Buddy paid like $200 an acre, give or take, with all of these outbuildings on it. So I know the opportunities are out there. I just need to get us into a position where we can take advantage of the opportunity, right? And that is, I think, the hardest part of the venture for anybody in these day and ages. These day and ages. Anyway, I think that's the hardest part for all of us that are trying to get into the homesteading game, is coming up with that money to initially buy the land. I'm not a firm believer in mortgages, and that works out well because the bank is not a firm believer in me, so I couldn't get a mortgage anyway. But finding the ability to even set $5, $10, $15 aside a month is crazy. It's just not happening right now. And I need to try and figure out how to manifest basically 40 grand, I think, should get us on to, well, the kind of properties that I'm looking at, really. And if Buddy got his for $200 an acre and I could find some at an auction, and if, well, then, you know, maybe I could do it for 20. But I'd rather be prepared and have too much than miss it because I was 1,000 short. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so I mean, I need to bank money aside, and that's all part of kind of what I'm doing here on the property, especially in the summers, is I'm trying to save us as much in the grocery budget and all of that shit as I can, because groceries are expensive. The most expensive part of that proposition seems to be meat, and I'm not prepared to go vegetarian yet, so yeah, I am going to be getting rabbits in the long run. But again, that's not going to be here because I don't necessarily feel that's entirely family friendly for, you know, what I'm going to have to do to them, and I don't want anybody getting attached to fluffy bunnies without any kind of long-term potential for the relationship to develop. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Anyway, it looks like my battery's getting kind of low, so I've probably been babbling for a while at this point. As I said, I was out here kind of working on that other video too, so I don't even know what time it is. It's probably well past 6 o'clock local time, which is when I normally like to have these things published. So yeah, alright. If by any chance there are any of you still with me, I appreciate you spending the time with me as I'm kind of hanging out in the shop and babbling today. And yeah, I have no idea what we're doing tomorrow. Hopefully the weather will be better, because I would like to take a look at a few things in the garden, but at the same time, tomorrow's generally kind of a permaculture day, so not quite sure. Yeah, we'll see. We'll find out tomorrow. All right, take care, everybody.